Hey team, today for Sunday school lesson we've got an exciting topic. The topic is plants. We're going to talk about plants. We're going to talk about roots. We're going to talk about fruits. This is Barry, by the way. Barry the bonsai. I have Barry in my office. I water him regularly. I prune his leaves to keep him looking green and lush. Bonsai plants or trees, technically it's a tree because it's actually got bark here. They're always short and compact because we don't let them grow up. Kind of sad when you think about it. They just grow out and get really strong. But bonsai have great roots, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I'll just push Barry off to the side there. Bye, Barry. Stay safe. I want to read you some scriptures from the Bible and sort of break them down a little bit as to why roots and fruits are so interlinked in the Bible. And that's going to be our Sunday school lesson for today. So I've got some scriptures printed out here. Here we go. Matthew 13:21 says, "Yet he has no root in himself, but endures for a while, and when tribulation or persecution arises on the account of the word, he immediately falls away." So this is talking about someone who has no root. And guys, if you know anything about trees, roots are below the dirt. Roots are invisible. Roots are what you can't see, right? And the interesting thing about this scripture is it says, he has no root in himself. He endures for a while, and when tribulation comes or persecution arises, immediately he falls away. And you sort of get this vision of a tree that's standing there with no root or not enough root, and it falls away when wind or storms or tribulation come. And the Bible's saying, if you read through the lines, it's saying what happens in private, what you can't see, okay, is really important for the believer. It keeps you standing strong when a storm comes. What happens in the darkness, what happens below the soil, what you do in private. And there are so many biblical themes that echo this throughout the scriptures that just talk about who we are in private isn't really private. It actually always makes its way into public, and that's fruit. Fruit are the things that are above the soil, that are on the tree branches that we can see. And it's quite easy to tell if a tree has fruit or if it doesn't. You just look at the thing and you're like, okay, it's got fruit or it doesn't. But what we often forget is that every tree that has good visible fruit also has a healthy root system because it made it through the storms. Job 18:16 says, "His roots dry up beneath and his branches wither above." And so we get this imagery of roots below the soil, what we can't see, what's happening in private, drying up, and that having an effect on the branches above. It says the branches wither. And I don't know if you ever met anybody who is withering or really unhealthy, but most times, 9 times out of 10, it's because their roots are dry below. Their private life is not where it needs to be. Okay, I'm going to read you a more positive spin on that one, on the roots. It says, Jeremiah 17:8, "He is like a tree planted by water that sends out its roots by the stream and does not fear when heat comes, for its leaves remain green, and is not anxious in a year of drought, for it does not cease to bear fruit." And that's the biblical imagery of a healthy tree. The tree is strong. The tree has strong roots that are wide base so it can support the tree when the wind comes and the rain comes. It can stay standing when the heat is scorching, and it still bears fruit in those seasons. Now, the fruit. I'm going to read you a couple of scriptures about fruit. The most famous one is Galatians 5:22-23. It says this, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law." So those are quite well known. And all of those things, you guys, are public. They're things that people can see. And I just want to say to you today, I'm pretty sure that most of you have someone that you can see in life that you want to be like. And if you don't, you really should. There should be somebody that you look up to that you're trying to copy in terms of what you can see. And the things that you can see often are those things: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. If you've ever met someone that doesn't have those things, it's pretty obvious. If they haven't got any self-control, there's no joy, there's no patience, no kindness, their fruit is sour, in other words. Matthew 7:15-20 says this, "You will recognize them by their fruits," meaning Christians. "Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? No. So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit." And this is so interesting, you guys. Most people want to be good. Most people want to have good fruit. When other people look at them, we all want people to think, oh man, that guy or girl is good, is patient, is kind, is thoughtful, has good self-control. That's what we want in terms of fruit. But the secret is, and that's what the Bible's driving at, is our roots. And when you imagine this bonsai, see how thick the roots are? It's because they go down deep, give it a stable base. And us as believers, we have to know that what happens below the soil is super important. What nourishes our fruit has to be healthy. We have to be doing the things in private that nobody may ever see, that are healthy, that are building us up, that are giving us a stable base so that we can bear fruit in public. And guys, I can tell you from personal experience in my life and the life of those around me that you don't bear biblical fruit by shortcutting the system. There's no way to bear fruit over a year or 5 years or 10 years if you haven't got healthy, godly roots that stretch out to the river of life, which is God himself. And the last one I'm going to read to you today, just for my own benefit, Psalm 92:14, it says, "They still bear fruit in an old age." So as I look at myself in the camera here, and I've got plenty of salt in my salt and pepper beard, I'm thankful that I can still bear fruit in an old age. And I believe it's because of the soil that my parents laid for me, filled with nourishment, and then I invested in as well as I got older, spending time with the Lord to continue to get myself into a healthy place where I can bear fruit. And I hope and pray that you can see fruit in my life and in the life of those adults that are having influence on you guys. And I hope and pray that you are also investing in your roots, what's in private, so you can bear fruit all the way between now and when you are old. God bless you guys. Have a great week. See ya.